Okay, so I have now 3 layers. One is the original photo. One is the photo with the live trace stuff done to it, and I have some really black vectors here, which I like. And then one is just lines that I've drawn on top, and I want to show you what something cool you can do with the lines. I'm going to make this invisible. So when I look at this, I'm just going to arbitrarily decide that I'm going to make this top part of my mouth darker. So what I've done, let me make this all invisible, is I have, if I zoom in, I have 2 lines. I have one up here, okay, and one down here. And I want to create a blend with those. So let me show you how to do that. So it's got to be 2 distinctly different lines for this to work. I believe they both have to be on the same layer and they both have to be ungrouped. So just FYI regarding that. So I'm going to select them both just by doing that. Go to Object, Blend, Blend Options. And you're going to make sure it says Specified Steps. How many steps do you want? I think it depends on what you're doing. So for now I'm just going to keep it at the default of 8. That's usually what comes up. And then I'm going to say Object, Blend, Make. Pretty cool, huh? Now what's neat about this is if I modify the original lines here, so for example, if I pull this down, it pulls everything else down with it. Now obviously that looks weird, but now if I bring this up and just look at it over that, or maybe over this one, that looks kind of interesting. So this is where you have to kind of be a little bit creative. If you have a dark, dark, dark black area, chances are you already have a dark, dark, dark vector there, and I do. In fact, I have these shapes right here. So I don't really think I'm going to do anything with that. But like, for example, up here at the top of my hairline, I'm probably going to do something up here. So I'm probably going to draw, I'm going to go to layer 3 to do this, some kind of swooshy like line. And I'm going to intentionally have it go within the dark area, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to have this move up. And the more curves you add to it, actually, the more problematic that can potentially become, so be careful. Ooh, I got really lumpy bumpy with this one. That's really bad. Alright, so I've got this, oops, oh boy. I don't have edit, selects and pass. Okay, so I still have both lines there, actually, you just can't see them, but that other line's there, and if I make this invisible, there it is. Yeah, so I'm going to just take this top line, because I really goofed up when I drew it, and I'm going to modify the path first. There we go. Okay, so I've got this one. Let's see if this works. And I've got this one, holding down the Shift key, so I've selected both of them. Object, Blend, Make. And nothing happened, of course. Let's see. Why didn't that work? It says it worked, but I don't see anything actually happening. Let's make this all invisible and so if we can see what's going on here. I love it when I demo something and like it doesn't work. Oh, I know why. It did work. It's just that you can't see it. And the reason why is because I forgot to assign both of these a stroke. So give these a stroke of black. There. So there's my path. And I mean, obviously, if you want to play around with this, so I can say Object, Blend, Blend Options, and maybe I want this to be like 15 instead. See, that gives me a little bit more. Now, I mean, as you can see, there's some areas here because there's overlapping going on that gives me some weird funkiness. So if I'm not particularly crazy about that, I can kind of maybe soften that, see, by bringing that down a little bit, like so. It's pretty much up to me, but let's see what that looks like just the way it is. So if I click this, and I don't know how well you can see that, but that looks pretty good. So that's pretty much the idea. You're looking for contours and curves. So like I have a line here, and maybe I need to find a way to connect it over here so it kind of blends together. So I might, again, I'm working on layer 3 when I do this, so everything's on the same layer, but I might draw a line, I don't know, like right here. I wonder what that would look like if I blended that together. Let's find out. So select that one, Object, Blend, Make. There we go. And you know, that looks okay. The only thing I don't like about that is this weird kind of situation right here. I just think that looks pretty awkward. So I'm going to have to come up with a resolution. But that's pretty much the tutorial in a nutshell. If you go to the actual tutorial page, it'll give you a little bit more information. Like I think I'm going to drag this down a little bit more here and modify that. In fact, I wonder, can I come in and edit the selected path after the fact. So if I come in and, oh, I can, look at that. So again, it's not perfect. I'm not really crazy about what's happening. So what if I did this? I continued with what I had and then brought this back along the contour of the lips. Ooh, that looks terrible. So some things, some things work and some things don't, obviously. So you have to kind of figure out what works best for you regarding this. But try to avoid stuff like that as best you can.